And I think that speaks to the thing we talked about before about sort of the value in the arts courses or the vocational courses and things like that, in that people are smart in different ways and people are passionate about different things. And it's about finding your thing. And for me, film and television production has always been that thing. So like I talked about getting the high grades and things like that. And I'm reluctant to say that I tried hard because I didn't. It was just really, really, really good fun, and I enjoyed what I was doing. And like those good grades were a natural byproduct of just doing something that I enjoyed and that I was passionate about.
Yeah, it's a right good laugh at Lancaster Morecambe College.
Oh, that's
Goodness.
glorious. Hello, my name is Matthew. I studied film and television production at Lancaster Morecambe College.
Hi, I'm Jack, and I studied music with technology at Lancaster and Morecambe College.
My answer to that is probably going to be really soppy, but for me, the key thing was the people that I was in the year group with and I was working with, and sort of finding people who were of a similar mindset to me and were creatively motivated as I was, and sort of were able to sort of work together on projects. And and these are friendships that I've retained to this day.
I think a good 95% of them would say that their lives are definitely enriched by it. Studying something like music, really, it's maths, it's a science, it teaches you to learn. There's so many transferable skills on that course anyway.
It's also worth mentioning, I have a bunch of friends who decided like to forego doing creative stuff, even though they were creative people, and go and study accounting, go and study law, go and study engineering. And they've gone through the whole university process and starting working there. And like they've either not been able to find work or like they've just had to give up on it because they just can't do it anymore. And it seems like the reaction of them is that they regret not sort of going down the creative route and doing creative things.
Well, the biggest tragedy is the whole stigma about creative education, isn't it? And people not wanting to do it because there's no job opportunities, or even when I first started at Lancaster and Morecambe College, there was a stigma. Oh, it's a BTEC. It's a Mickey Mouse course.
Also, I could talk about the fact that it gave me an opportunity and gave me the skills I needed to sort of achieve my dream job, which I'm working now.
I found that a lot of the people who studied more academic sixth form courses who went to the Leeds College of Music, it took them a while to adapt to that style of teaching and learning, whereas Lancaster and Morecambe College really felt like a natural progression.
I had zero qualifications. I had no GCSEs. And Jack talked about the BTEC sort of being this kind of like this joke qualification or this thing, but what it meant for me was it meant I could go to university. I went to York University to continue my studies in film and television production. Right now I am the head of picture at Highfield Post Production, which is the same company that Jack works for. And basically I handle everything in post production that isn't VFX or sound, apart from when I do visual effects and sound, which is still quite common.
I am a post-production technical assistant or audio assistant for Highfield post-production for feature films and trailers. I also do kind of like a more admin side of things as well. So I'll book recording studios for actors that we're working with. And it's great to kind of meet a lot of people through that as well.
Sort of my main job role at the moment is I'm a color grader. So I color grade films. Over the past 5 years, I've accumulated, let me just look at 35 feature film credits. These are low budget features, quote unquote low budget. They're still like millions of pounds to make, and they have really, really like top tier actors and things like that. Yeah, I'm eternally grateful for this, being able to be where I am now. And it is unquestionably, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my time at college. The first one is a film that I worked on. And it's a film called Solace, and it's the first film that I sort of worked on all the way through. So I was there during production, and then a bit of pre-production, production, and post-production. It's on Netflix. It's a little science fiction film starring Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5, stuck in a pod, in an escape pod from a ship that's blown up, and it's of him trying to fight for his survival. And for me, that kind of it's the kind of film that I sort of dreamed about making as a kid.
Well, yeah, I think like the Divide and Conquer band was pretty cool. After, obviously all guys from I think everyone apart from a couple were from Lancaster Morecambe College. This is a 10-piece kind of alternative pop, weird party band, I guess. And yeah, it was a very successful project in my view. Obviously, we weren't touring the world.
You did tour the world, though, didn't you?
Well, no, not with that band, but I have had, the pleasure of like playing in other countries, which is super cool, like Costa Rica and Lithuania and Poland and stuff. So yeah, like the live music thing, I'm super proud of.
I've got to like hike up the Pyrenees with like a bunch of sheep herders to shoot some shots for a World War II like film, which was really good.
Well, my first bit of advice is to take any advice anyone gives you with a massive pinch of salt. Even this bit of advice.
I have a counter to that, and it's one that I know Jack will agree with, which is this is something that you should definitely do. And luckily, I have followed this advice. Jack sadly has not and is suffering for it. But it's take care of your ears. It sounds dumb, but generally, this is my biggest advice. Do that. I
think generally, just take care of your health. Like that's the most important thing, isn't it? Just look after yourself, guys.
Yeah, earplugs. They're not that expensive.
It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. It's definitely like look after yourself. Because it's easy to forget that sometimes, isn't it, Rin?
My other tip is like find the joy in whatever you're doing. Like even if you're
something that's got to be learned, hasn't it?
Yeah, you've just got to
find the joy.
Learn to find the joy in whatever you're doing. And the thing that you talked about, Jack, as well, about him being a people person and being a personable person. Like being nice costs nothing, but it'll get you really, really, really far. There's
so many transferable skills. In doing something creative. Creativity is just intelligence having fun. Also, it's a super important job as well. Think of a world without art and music and films and YouTubers and it's boring. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, to be honest. I'm really loving it.
As soppy as that sounds.
Yeah.
Cut that out. That's not allowed in there.
That's definitely not allowed in there.